Hi, hello. We should be starting by now. Sorry for some technical difficulties, but you know, this stuff is not that easy when you're just starting out. Okay, apparently we have some audio issues. So okay. Seems like it's working. So, hello, my name is Thomas Pendragon, and I'm a game developer, amongst other things. And today I would like to do some live coding on my idle game called Idlegrounds. At sometimes my friend, a game designer, Matthew, should come in, but he's like fighting with his own technical issues. So let me introduce you to the project. As you can see, we have a little something to start with. An idle clicker game is a game that you obviously can idle to, so it should work in a background. Clicker suggests that you need to click a lot to do stuff. And because it's idle grounds, it suggests it has something to do with battle royale genre, and I guess it does. So the idea for the game is that you play as a hero in a battle royale scenario, and you can experience adventures like looting, navigating around the map, killing other people, typical friendly stuff. So what we have right now is, let me restart the game very quickly. So we have a random map, which is always the same. We have our hero, which is always the same. He starts in a random place, and this is actually kind of random, which is nice, I think. And you can navigate around the map, and you can fight some people if you meet them, and you can loot. Actually, right now the loot is done automatically, which is not the best. Yeah, but here we have an enemy, and we can like click the hell out of him. Yeah, you kill him, we gain some experience, we can upgrade. So if we upgrade our strength, then our hits will deal more damage. Yeah, so there is not a lot, but you can kind of win. You can complete the whole board, and you can also die and lose the game, which will take some time. Give me a second, I'm doing some... yeah, this is how we die. I'm doing some final checks on my stream settings. Hopefully it should work. It should work fine now, but let me double check that. Yeah, it looks like something is going on, so... yeah, we are only like an hour behind, so not that bad. The game is written in JavaScript, so it's an HTML game. I'm really not a JavaScript programmer, so the code quality isn't that good, but you don't need to be a like the best of the best to make an idle game, so that shouldn't be an issue. Also, I have a lot of experience in other programming languages and frameworks and so on, so I think I should do fine. Currently, everything is one single file, everything about the game. So how the game works so far is we have a typical game loop, which has an init function, it has an update function, and it has a render function. So init does some settings for you, prepares the state of the game world, then update progresses that state by every second or part of a second that as you go on, and render presents the game state to you. And there is also some user interaction, which is done via events. So really simple structure for now. So let's talk about how the game is built, how the game state is created. So basically we have two objects. Currently these are just global objects. We have like the game state and we have the save store. These two are currently kind of mangled together and should be fixed in the future, so that will surely happen at some point. But what we have is we store our persistent data in save store, so things like our experience and skills, these should be preserved, and if we want to save and load the game state in the future, we will definitely need that. Everything else that can be rebuilt from the save will be set in the game state. So obviously some of these will be moved to the save store, but currently we began with this, so we should be fine as long as we do some refactoring in the future. So what we have is some initial settings like money and stamina and health points. Then we have some functions. Then we have this post init, which creates the board. So the board, as you can see, is currently a tile map of 10 by 10 like tiles. Yeah, that's obviously what you have in a tile map, which you can move around. But with every move you consume your stamina. So if you run out of your stamina, then you need to wait a bit. Yeah, so that's the what we have created here. So the board size is 100 because we have 10 by 10, so 100 tiles. And for every tile we create an object which has some internal state and has a public interface. And every tile can contain some loot. It can contain an enemy. And we have some helper methods to determine whether we can move onto the field, because obviously we can't just teleport around the map. We need to have some logical connections between the tiles. So in our case, the tile is just an array of tiles, but we split them logically in columns and rows, and obviously we can only move to a tile that's in the next or previous row or column. So yeah, like you would expect. Yeah, so what I would like to do initially is to change how the looting happens, because currently the looting is done automatically. So when you enter a field and there is some loot there, you pick it up automatically, and if there is loot and an enemy, then you pick the loot after defeating the enemy. And since this is a clicker, it makes sense to, to force player to click a lot, and clicking to retrieve the loot that's on the field seems like a good choice of clicking, I guess. So let's say that we have money on tiles currently, and let's say for every click we pick up $1. So let's try to do that. So let's see where the actual movement is done. So we have this function move. It is defined here. So in order to move, we consume our stamina, then we visit the field, and then we render everything. So let's go here, and this grabs the loot. So you don't want that. Let's comment that out and check. Yeah, so there is some sweet loot, but we are not picking it up right now. So let's add some loot indicator, like we have the, if we go to a field with enemy, then we have some indication about the enemy. We should have something similar for the loot we can pick up. So let's check the so main enemy is the name, because currently the interface is split into 4 boxes. So we have this info box with skills and some indications here. We have the log window, we have the map, and we have the enemy box, which will contain some other stuff than the enemy, but that should be fine. Let's create, let's call it loot. Yeah, because we want that sweet looting. Okay, we don't need that anymore. Yeah, and we will change that dynamically based on what happens in the game world. So loot, and this will add a loot button, which shouldn't be initially visible. So let's check where we switch the. So we have update fight. So let's create update looting, and let's see how the update fight function actually behaves. And let's create a similar structure to the looting mechanisms. So if game state can loot, we don't have this function yet, but we will. So if we are not looting, then let's hide our and let's so state can loot function return game state current cell has loot, and it should work. Yeah, but we never make the loot button visible again, so that works exactly as we meant to. So let's find that, BG loot, yeah. And let's start with showing this. As you can see, we have the load button, which doesn't do anything yet. Yeah, and let's print what is the actual loot. So let's create an ID, bg load info. And in our update looting, let's actually show game state current loot. So similarly to can loot function, we want current loot function. Let's call it loot info. Loot, yeah. Function, yeah. And currently the only thing we have is money, so basically it's this. So let's check it out. Yeah, it works. I mean, okay. And we need to disable grabbing the loot after we kill the enemy. Yeah, so don't want that. And currently has a loot. Yeah, and we want to change how this behaves, because currently this grabs the entire loot, so all the money on the tile, and we want it to grab just a single dollar. So let's change it. I'm creating a new variable here because in the future we could loot faster. I mean, we should have a skill for this, so it makes sense to have this stored in a variable, because we are using this in the log. We are using this to transfer stuff around. So, and if loot money is 0, so if the field is empty, let's destroy the loot object altogether. And let's create a load function similar to hit function. Yeah, so fight, and we have loot game state. If we can't loot, then obviously let's don't. Let's not do it then. And game state grab loot, and we will create just the function we need here, because we have this function for the tile but not for the entire game state. But we can obviously do that by copying it, copying can loot function, renaming it to grab loot, and then grabbing some loot. Yeah, let's check it out. Yeah, so this works, as you can see. Obviously, this will take a lot of time to go through the entire loot on this tile, so it's good to think that this is supposed to be an idle game, so we will have some skills in the future that will allow us to loot automatically. But for now, we can just visit another field, so on. Should we loot on a field where the enemy is? I don't think so. So let's prevent the player from looting where the enemy is on the tile already. And we actually have a function for that, because we have in fight function. So in our loot function, which is right here, and it is right here, yeah. So obviously we can't loot if we have no loot to loot, but if we are in fight, then game state log maybe deal with the dude that wants to kick your ass first, and return. And let's see. It won't be as easy to find a tile with both the... Oh, it was super easy actually. As you can see, we are not looting. We are fighting. After we fight, we can loot. So, that works fine. Maybe let's add a skill for looting. That should be more fun than clicking like 100 times. So let's check it out. Yeah, obviously this will be based on our skill, but it can never be higher than the maximum value of money we can take from the field. So if value is greater than game state from the loot money, and value, let this be loot money. Yeah, and let this be like game state gets triggered skill level. Yeah, this makes sense. So let's have a similar construction here. Skill looting. Let's create this skill here. I have no idea why this is called book. Why this has like a book picture, but this is one icon from Font Awesome that I remember, so this will work. Yeah, so we have this. Let's add some initial value for looting also here. Yeah, so looting is 0, so we should loot $1 at a time. But after we kill some enemies, we should be able to upgrade. Yeah, $1, but let's look for something to hit. Yeah, still only dollars. Yeah, okay, so we have an enemy. We are looting $1 at a time. But if we upgrade our looting skill, why did we increase our strength as well? We'll check out that later, but yeah, no, we will check out that right now. Something is not going well. Oh yeah, because we created the same skill twice. And now it should work like we wanted to. Yeah. Okay, so I did not upgrade our skill yet, so we are looting $1 at a time. But if we upgrade, yeah, we are looting $2 at a time, so twice the speed. And if we find even more enemies, we need one more, because each level needs like the double amount of experience. So $2 per click, and now $3 per click. So really, really cool. Okay, what feature can we bring next? Let me think. Yeah, maybe some actual idle elements, so like idle looting. That should work. Yeah, let's check it out. So we need another skill. So let's call it out looting. Never. Okay, let's actually look for something like. I mean, there should be an icon for. Yeah, I mean, now, like a few years ago, it was a cool free library. I mean, it gave you a list of icons with some cool search, and now this is terrible. Yeah, give us your email, and I mean, it's garbage. Yeah, pro icons. I mean, people, come on. Yeah, I have no idea what this is, but it looks like a great icon for like picking up loot automatically, so let's use that. Yeah. So let's go back to our update function, which is called a tick, and let's, if we can loot and we create the outloot function in a very similar way as we did before. Yeah, and let's add the outloot function to the current cell. Yeah, so let's generalize this a bit. So this will be, yeah, so we need like a private function. So loot function and some value. Okay, so this check, we can't loot more than we could. And let's return how much did we actually loot. Let's move this logic here. And value is, yeah, this will be doing the actual looting. But for the idle looting, I don't think we need these logs, because they would just pollute the log window. So that's not really useful. Yeah, and obviously we won't do that. If game state is in a fight, then yeah, no auto looting. Yeah, and the value, so this is auto looting. We are not adding 1 because we don't start with this auto looting enabled, and we will actually multiply that by 0.1. So for every skill point in the auto looting, we are picking up 10 cents. So this will be slow, but you won't actually have to do anything to grab your loot, so that should be fine. I mean, that's like a mix of idle and clicker, right? So let's loot by this value. And we need this self here as well. No, not here. Here, because JavaScript is weird. I mean, it's a horrible language. And let's see. Yeah, so we have some loot here. Yeah, we will go back here in a minute, but let's find an enemy first. Oh yeah, and something crashed. And that is very nice, very cool that it crashed, because we can now debug something. Just move this here. And there is no self, which is weird, because this dot self underscore self is, yeah, it's this bit, but okay. Yeah, but the issue with JavaScript is that this doesn't really mean anything sensible, so people are creating workarounds for that. Maybe not really needed here, because we are using this anyway, so we should be fine. But if you create as like a sub object in a function, so this is a closure, and this is this, I think. I mean, come on, JavaScript, stop being weird. Yeah, let's check it out. Cool, some loot, and it broke again. Let's see why. We still, oh, okay, we still have this self. That should actually be this. Yep. And if value is greater than 0, because otherwise it doesn't make much sense to even do it. Yeah, we have some loot, we can pick it up manually, but let's not. Let's find an enemy and let's level up. But because maps are random and we really need to have an enemy right now, we won't. We'll wait for him for ages. I mean, yeah, cool. Yeah, they are probably hidden in corners somewhere. Oh, cool. Yeah. Sorry, Borisov. Yeah. So now we can upgrade our auto-looting, but let's go here first. And yeah, we can pick up this automatically, but if we upgrade this, oh yeah, and we will, as you can see, these are floating point numbers, so they are terribly broken if you just print them as floating point numbers, but we will take care of that in a few seconds. But first, let's just take a look at numbers going up and down, because This is the true beauty of idle games. Yeah, so here is where we round the actual values, and we need to have a very similar stuff here. Yeah, our looting function is here, so this needs to be rounded down to like 1 decimal point. So value is this. Still works. Still no enemy to be found. Okay. Now, and let's go here and let's do some out looting, which obviously is terribly broken still. Oh my. Yeah, what was I thinking? Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really make sense. Yeah, so we had this rounding down because we actually were generating these 11 point numbers randomly, so we could have like a lot of decimal points. But here we are multiplying that by 0.1, which is cool in decimal system, but really terrible in binary, and all computers work on binary. Why JavaScript doesn't have a decimal number type is beyond me. Maybe it does. Yeah. Does it? Anyway, we can just round these values at the presentation, so let's find out how can we do that. So yeah, this is not great. This is obviously why I love JavaScript. Oh, we have fixed with rounding. Okay. Number parse float fixed. Oh, so this, okay, it only does a string representation, so yeah, still terrible, but yeah, we can use that. So when we print how much money we have, we can yeah, so we have our render function and we have our money, and we can round down to 1 decimal point. So oh, cool, enemy and loot on the same field, and what was the first field? Cool. Yeah, so here it looks okay, here it is broken, but we now know how to fix it, so let's do that. So we have our update looting function, which actually should be called render looting. Yeah, this makes more sense. Yeah. And current loot, so this is defined here, loot info is defined here, and we need to add the fixed as well, and it should look well. Also, if you are watching this, please remember to click like and subscribe. Oh god. I was supposed to memorize this formula, right? Yeah, anyway, you guys just click the like button and subscribe. I mean, it's cool when numbers go up, I guess. So, I mean, I personally just like numbers, and I like when numbers are getting bigger. And I've started the stream with like 7 subscribers, so I mean, if I could have 8, it would be like over 10% increase, which should be I mean, great. Even my categories. Yeah, so as you can see, auto-leading works. Cool. Yeah, I mean, what could we do next? We could do auto-fighting. We could change the map a little bit dynamically. We could have different loot. We could pump up the graphics a little bit. I mean, so many ideas. But you know, since I am like live streaming this, and I will be, I would love to develop the game with you guys. Just let me know in the comments what. No, damn it. Just let me know in the comments what feature you would like to see next. And I guess we will implement it the next time. I think we should have like 2 or maybe even 3 of these streams a week. You know, I'm still working out the formats and some technical stuff. So hopefully future streams will be like smoother than this one. And yeah, that's about it for today. Sorry for the delay at the beginning, but you know, life is not fair. So thank you guys, and let's see you the next time.